Greetings everyone, your local Shenanigan Gamer back in Universe Sandbox 2. How are you today? How's your week going? And I hope everyone is in good form. And if not, hopefully that'll change as the day goes on or the week goes on. But I wish you all the best. Before we dive into today's topic, just in case if you're new to the channel and this is the first video you're watching of mine, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest comings and goings. So, we're going to be adding Saturn here, because today's topic is, could the Earth survive within Saturn's rings? In this theory, there's a lot of other factors to contend with, but I'm more focused on impacts and Roche effects and any other kind of gravitational forces here, rather than other environmental forces or distance to the sun and so on and so forth, and radiation. So we have the rings in there. Now I have to change the incline, which can be a little bit tricky sometimes within Universe Sandbox 2. So holding down the mouse button, I'm pretty sure I can get it almost lined up, and I'm hoping that that's far enough away from Saturn that the Earth isn't going to be torn apart by gravitational stress. So we're just on the outer side of the ring there, which actually kind of looks cool. Now, predominantly, Saturn's rings are made up of ice and dust and, you know, some rock and stuff like that as well, but there's no huge bodies outside of the normal rings. There are some large bodies in the rings, but they're few and far between in comparison to the overall mass of the ring. But it looks pretty epic there, actually. I'm getting a very much an Avatar vibe, X the rings. But I think we can actually add more rings in here just to kind of thicken it out ever so slightly. Now this may kill my simulation rate, but you know, style first, followed by substance, followed by computers breaking down in a crying heap. So at the moment the game isn't paused, it's moving along at 1 second, so real time, but obviously the additional mass of the Earth within the rings, that has to distort the rings in both areas. I predict multiple collisions on the Earth, multiple collisions on Saturn, but will those collisions be so numerous? It'll be kind of almost like death by 1,000 cuts, because individually they're very small pieces in the scheme of things. So you can actually see the impacts completely encompassing the band around the Earth that it sits hitting against those rings. Now through the simulation I probably would speed up, maybe slow down, because sometimes when you speed up you lose some of the calculation accuracy. But that's cool though, I like that. It's pretty awesome. You know, I think it was a good idea to add all the extra mass in the rings there. Frame rate seems to be okay. So you can actually see now the rings are distorting in there. So the gravitational effect of the Earth itself is pulling all of that mass towards itself, creating a band of impacts. Numerous, but nothing substantial. But over time, like, that's going to be kicking debris up. It's bound to be increasing the overall temperature in the long run of the atmosphere as well. Now, in this proximity to Saturn too, there has to be some gravitational stresses as well, which will warp the surface of the Earth. You can see a lot of the impacts there on Saturn as well. Saturn won't bat an eyelid to that. But again, a lot of the moons close to Saturn and Jupiter, for example, Let's take Europa. Europa has all these marks on its surface because its outer surface is ice predominantly, and the gravitational stresses have created liquid underneath the ice. But over time that will crack the surface, and that liquid will spill up to the surface and freeze, causing those striations across Europa. So those gravitational stresses are bound to be impacting the Earth here as well, more than likely heating itself. So the rings are heavily distorted so far. Those impacts, though numerous, are still small in South America. So it's kind of going across South America, Africa, India, Indonesia, all that kind of area as well. But that's going to be kicking up a lot of debris into the atmosphere as well. Very interesting all the same. A lot of the transference of materials and, you know, the ferociousness, I love making up words. The ferocity of the impacts as well. Now there is heavy distortion of the rings. A lot condensing around one band, and then the outer band is just... the impact of the additional gravity is just completely torn the equilibrium apart. Which is cool though. Now I know those out there in the comment section as well, this is a game. It's not a mass supercomputer simulation accounting for all the variables. It's more, you know, the gravitational effects with some cool explosions mixed in. But again, these videos are designed and intended to spark the idea, the conversation, to expand further than it potentially currently is as well, and to kind of just see what if and have a bit of fun along the way. Fantastic pattern there now as well. So let's speed up time. Now I won't run this indefinitely. I do have a bit of a plan. I have an idea of how to potentially end this, but yeah, a lot of impacts there. So in time, again, harmony would be restored. But again, the temperature is going to be rising on Earth and rising and rising. Again, it'll hit its max temperature variable as well. But it'll be a hell of a sight to behold if a large, let's say, you know, a random rocky planet were to enter our solar system, because again, some solar systems end in not the most pleasant of terms, and sometimes the planets are expelled from their natural habitat to wander the cosmos, and potentially could come this way. So let's end with a bit of a bang, shall we? We're going to put some fireworks in here, and we're going to explode Saturn. So that force should create a void, yes. As you can see, so much so it's ripped whatever remaining atmosphere was on Earth at the time and caused some tremendous damage. So I think we've created the letter P. It's almost like the Beats logo. There's our lovely fireworks. Yay! Fireworks for the win. So that was a pretty... I wasn't expecting such a reaction to the Earth. You know, I knew it would expel, but that's a really cool effect there. I've seen that before with supernova and stuff like that as well, but I can't... Potentially I probably just missed it, or I'm not remembering it. So Earth is losing mass, increased in temperature. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, folks, I think we'll wrap it up there for today's video. Thanks for watching. Again, you can support the channel by liking and sharing this video. And don't forget to comment your ludicrous experiment that you'd like me to conduct in Universe Sandbox 2, or any other video suggestions as well. I'll do my best to see if I can cater for those requests. And as always, you can support the channel additionally by clicking on the Patreon link below, as every little bit helps in creating constant content for you folks. So yeah, on that little note, thanks for watching, thanks for sharing your time today, and I will see you in the next video. So take it easy, and goodbye. Sandbox 2, how are you today? How's your week going? And I hope everyone is in good form, and if not, hopefully that'll change as the day goes on or the week goes on. But I wish you all the best. We're going to be adding Saturn here because today's topic is, could the Earth survive within Saturn's rings? In this theory, there's a lot of other factors to contend with. Greetings everyone, your local Shenanigan Gamer back in Universe 5th, but I'm more focused on impacts and Roche effects and any other kind of gravitational forces here rather than other environmental forces or before we dive into today's topic, just in case if you're new to the channel and this is the first video you're watching of mine, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest comings and goings. So,